Did you know that single women own 2.71 million more homes in America than single men? That's crazy. Especially considering that women couldn't even get a mortgage by themselves until 1974. This has been a busy 50 years, I guess. Period.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll talk about an article that came out stating that single women are buying more houses than men. We'll also discuss how they are giving advice on protecting their assets because they are buying more houses than men. Before we begin, we want to thank you for being here. Your support means a lot to us. If you enjoy what you see, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and give us a like. We'd also love to hear about your experiences in the comments. Your participation helps us grow and reach more people. Thank you for being part of our project. Let's get started.
This article about single women owning more homes than single men in the US was published a couple months ago. It sparked a debate with me and a male friend. He was basically saying that should be attributed to the more opportunities that women are getting with OF and brand deals from like makeup companies, like doing content creation, social media stuff. The underlying tone I felt was that he was kind of belittling the accomplishments that women have made. And to the women who are online making money, kudos to them for finding avenues to create revenue streams for themselves. I mean, there's literally men who go on Alibaba, buy a product, and make a Shopify store. They're not curing cancer. That's nothing special. The point of this video is not point fingers at each other, but what is interesting is that women are attending universities and graduating at a higher rate, and here's the proof. And then before I get any guys on here to be like, oh, like men are naturally entrepreneurs and we're building businesses. The statistic for entrepreneurs is 16% in the US. 16% of people. That's not a lot, okay? So you cannot say all these guys that aren't attending universities are entrepreneurs. Anyways, the point of this video is to just say that there are so many women out there that are doing really cool shit, whether it's in their careers, in their businesses, in their corporate jobs. A lot of men have this like misconstrued idea. Like I saw a video that this guy was like, women don't have real hobbies. Women don't do anything like in their free time that's like substantive. Like I just think there is a wrong message that is being sent about women that we make money online just because we're beautiful and on our bodies. It's like there are really successful, great women that you could probably learn something from.
This can be seen in several ways. Firstly, men are more averse to taking out large, long-term loans. It's true that the rate of women attending universities is higher, but it's also true that most jobs requiring only technical specialization are more often held by men. Another factor is that men tend to be more mobile. A woman rarely leaves the city where she was born, while a single man finds it difficult to settle down because, as I mentioned, many jobs require them to move states. Additionally, most men prefer to buy a house only when they are ready to settle down with a partner, something which, in my opinion, is a mistake. There's also the factor of women's empowerment and the fact that young men are increasingly falling behind, sinking into mediocrity due to the many criticisms we receive nowadays just for being men. Moreover, many men lack a paternal figure in their lives, which is crucial in a man's life, especially in the development of his masculinity and in establishing an economic life with a father's advice. However, single mothers won't tell you that, as women always have a maternal figure to learn various things, especially about relating to men. Additionally, the majority of rules imposed by the state are made against men, and in a country where a man's life is on the line for a single mistake, which can ruin him for a lifetime, men live in a challenging mode in this society.
In honor of International Women's Day, I wanted to share a fun real estate statistic. Did you know that more single women are buying homes than single men? And that's despite the fact that women earn only 83 cents for every dollar that men earn. According to Bank of America, over 2/3 of single women say they rather not wait to marriage to buy a house. And you know what? Single women are second only to married couples in the home buying market. That's right. Ladies are skipping the spouse and getting the house. So the biggest hurdle for most home buyers is having their finances in order. But women are actively and more diligently saving and working to improve their credit scores than men are. And 80% of single women who plan to buy a home feel excited and accomplished about it, as they should. So here's to all the independent ladies out there making moves and taking control of your financial future. You go.
It's been shown in various studies that the wage gap is false because it depends on the type of work women seek. as most of the country's toughest jobs with worse conditions are done by men. As a man, I tell every young man to aspire to own your own home, as owning a house shields you from various financial problems in the future and provides security. Now, what many of these people don't tell you is how these women manage to acquire houses faster than men. Many women will never tell you about the male sponsors they have, men who pay for their house and expenses. They don't mention that the woman hardly spends her own money, nor do they mention that many of them also work from home with the Blue app. Another point they don't mention is that for men, it's harder to maintain a high credit score and access bank loans, especially since we don't like to take out loans until we establish a relationship for marriage, which I repeat, is a mistake. I believe you should always own your own home first before protecting your assets, as this woman advises in the following video.
You know that more single women are buying homes than single men.
You know what? I did know that. Thank you for sharing it. So that means, ladies, if you're thinking about getting married and you own your own home and you're coming in with assets, definitely need a prenuptial agreement. I'm Portia Wood, your favorite generational wealth planning attorney. And what I mean by that is that almost 51% of marriages are ending in divorce. In fact, that number does seem to be going up. And anyone who has assets that they're bringing into the marriage should consider a prenuptial agreement. Why? Because when you get into any business relationship, and a marriage is a legal business or a legal coupling, you should always have a plan for how you uncouple if that relationship is no longer working. Now, this is particularly true if the marriage that you're entering is a second marriage or is blending your family. So if you have children from a previous relationship, etc., you absolutely need to make sure that you have agreements about the assets that come in, because otherwise you can unintentionally disinherit your children or their children. Real estate is still one of the fastest wealth builders in the nation. And so if you've been able to get into real estate, particularly in this market, you got to protect that real estate with everything you got. Again, I'm Portia Wood, your favorite generational wealth planning attorney. If you found this information helpful, like, follow, and share for more wealth building content.
And then your Federico still buys into the Disney narrative of happily ever after. That's why I always say the only one who marries for love is the man. The woman marries for a lifestyle, because only a man madly in love would enter into a contract designed to financially ruin him. Look at how she says to have a prenuptial agreement in case the relationship ends. Women aren't stupid. Of course they'll protect their assets. They'll have their contingency plan if things go wrong. That's why we always hear that women mourn the relationship. It's a lie. They don't mourn anything. They make their preparations for when they leave, how to screw you over in the divorce. That's why they always catch the man off guard every time they ask for a divorce. Divorce is a contract by the state that only obligates the man to have responsibility in the family, since what the woman brings to the relationship is intangible. Everything the man contributes is from the financial side, which is economic security, paying all the bills, household expenses, children's expenses, medical bills. And besides, when he has to leave the relationship, he also has to leave half of his assets, everything tangible. What does the woman leave in the relationship? Oh right, what she contributed. Her presence and time, something that the man also invests. Ironically, the time of living deceived with the tale of the provider man is over. Get a prenuptial agreement, make her also put in financial assets. Drizzle, drizzle.
So I've seen this video, which has gone viral several times, and I've seen other women online complaining about the same thing. Mortgage increased by $1,000. And why are you telling us? You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no man. Why we need to know that your mortgage increased $1,000? I got other women that I'm seeing come up on my feed that's saying that they can't afford their rent. They need $4,000 to move into a new apartment. And I thought you was making six figures. You killing it. We supposed to feel some type of way? We supposed to be like, this is a travesty? What did you do? Sign a variable interest rate loan where your interest rate can fluctuate, which will increase your mortgage? Why are we supposed to feel sorry? Men have been dealing with this for forever. No one feels sorry for us. If you're so strong and independent and you don't need us, why are you complaining about the increase? Pay it. Don't put it on social media. Pay it. Nobody told you to go and get a variable interest rate on a loan. You could have had a husband locked in the rate because you would have had more income. But no, y'all bragging about these houses and all of these degrees, and then you get upset with your college loan debt. You brag about getting a house, then you get upset when you sign a bad loan and they raise your mortgage. Stop it. We don't want to hear it because we don't get to complain as men. You're a strong, independent man. You don't need no man. You don't get to complain either. We don't want to hear it.
Absolutely. What are you complaining about? You don't need a man. Because what many tell us in that statistic of single women buying more houses is that being single for a woman comes with various nuances. Many receive certain favors that don't show up in the statistics. Some are mistresses or have a sugar daddy. Others sometimes date multiple men in casual relationships, but they get money from them and help with expenses. They use the Blue app or do various extra jobs for their boss outside the standard work contract, or they are the mistresses of well-positioned men. Many are so smart, I must say, that they've made rental contracts when the house is theirs. They tell the man to help with the rent. In Colombia, I read about a case of a woman who lived with her boyfriend for over 10 years, telling him they were renting when the house was hers. Brothers, these women only think about their money. So, no sympathy for them. If you didn't know how to negotiate with the bank, what are you complaining about? You don't need any man. You can do it alone. That's why I always tell men, don't trust their words, look at their actions. The best investment of all will always be in yourself. Women nowadays are playing a different game where men are losing. Invest in your own financial security because they're doing the same. Always protect your assets in any relationship you have.
I just need to do a very quick shout out to all the women who own a home, and shout out to all the women who want to become a homeowner in the near future or later down the line. Look, it's totally okay if you want to rent. I was fine renting, but becoming a homeowner is a huge step in someone's life. Based on the National Association of Realtors, the statistics of single women homeowners in 2021 were only 19%. So I need to make sure that I'm educating and inspiring and helping other women who want to start owning a home, because I'm buying a home and I'm closing on November 30th, and I never thought that would be possible. I went from broke, struggling to save even $5,000 in my account, to now getting a real estate license, helping other families, buying my own home, and later looking into getting investment properties and even rental properties. Literally, the sky is the limit. But very quickly, before I end this video, I just want to let you know, if you become a first-time homeowner, you do not need to put 20% down. And I know you hear this time and time again, but here's the difference. Let's break down a $300,000 home. 20% of $300,000 is $60,000, but you can buy that home for 3%, which is only $9,000. Now, here's a fun fact I like to talk about, because a lot of women get married and they do everything under the marriage. So let's say the husband buys the home and the deed is under his name, he pays for the bills, and later on, due to life, due to circumstances, they end up getting divorced. Well, those women have to become an adult and start buying their first home later on in life. And I've done my research on this, and it sucks because after a divorce, it is a known fact that women are in a worse financial position than men. So just a reminder, whether you buy your first home in your teens, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, there is no limitation and there is no set goal on when you can buy your very first home. This is not something to be embarrassed about or hesitant or shy. We need to help each other and share our stories, because sharing experiences, including mistakes, means that we get to learn from them. And a lot of people say, I wish I didn't put 20% down on my first home. I wish I had more capital in my pocket to either renovate the home or to save up and start looking at my next purchase. And believe it or not, after you make that first purchase, which is very daunting and very stressful, it gets really easy, or at least it gets easier with time. So if you're a female with huge aspirations and goals and you want to own a home, do it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. We need more strong female entrepreneur mindset homeowners out there. And I'm not trying to take away from the men, but I am just here to empower you to make a move. And all it starts is to first educate yourself and take the first step. Of course, if you like this, follow for more.
Women in these times are not like those of your father's time who sought a husband to build their heritage with. Today's women only want to wait in line for the winners. That's why it's becoming difficult for the average man to find a woman, as they all think that the man has to bring money to the table. And the truth is, they're not wasting time. They invest in themselves, from getting a degree to buying a house. It doesn't matter if there's a man behind financing everything. What matters is having assets. That's why I urge any man watching this video to fix your credit, especially if you're a young man. Take care of your credit and invest in a house early. Protect it legally in any future relationship you have. And above all, if you get married, get a prenuptial agreement. Men should support each other in this day because the rules of the game have changed. Women are smarter than ever. Men of value are getting left behind. Others are falling behind. No matter what anyone says, we need more men of value. So, tattoo this phrase in your mind. My best investment will always be in myself. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about single women buying more houses? What do you think is the reason why women are buying more houses nowadays? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.